Greetings guys, a warm welcome. Thank you for joining me. Taurus, this is your reading for July. I am uploading these in mid-June, around about just before the second big major eclipse. Yes, this is the middle of eclipse season right now. They run through June and July. We also have many retrograde planets occurring as well. So this is what you might call a feisty part of the year. It's almost like we've made it to the hump and we'll be on the downward run as we move into July and further into the rest of 2020. However, don't rest on your laurels because there's still a lot of activity, a lot of movement and planetary alignments that are quite feisty and full on, including the retrogrades and the ecliptical energy. I think all of us will feel them to quite a large degree, all of the activities and motions that are occurring, and we will come to understand more about this as the year continues to move on. But let's have a look at what's in store for you guys, starting with this deck that you see in front of you, which is a Doreen Virtue Tarot deck. It's a fairy tarot deck. So this is for Taurus for July 2020. What's in store for them? What would you like them to focus on, understand, meditate with and see? So Taurus, I felt really inclined to do your reading right now. I did have another one lined up, but then I suddenly went, no, I'm thinking that this is for Taurus. Now a whole bunch have jumped out here. Ooh, and I'm thinking there are, look at them. So how many have we got all up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards jumped out, and I did, as I was saying, I felt very inclined to do your reading. And of those 6, 5 are major arcanas. So boom, something big is going on for Taurians at this time of the year. And perhaps this reading will take you further in through the year than just July, and even it will be activated now when I'm doing them in June. So this reading may well be a message or a portal or a timeline leading you through to the end of 2020 and even into 21, especially with all these major arcanas. And the other card you got was actually the Seven of Cups. We'll get to that possibly toward the end, even though I know it came in here. Well, I'll spread them out like that, but well, we'll just work with them the way they've come. Actually, that's how we'll do it. So the first card, what a wonderful one to get, the Magician. Not exactly the first one of the major arcanas, but the second one indeed. So this card is all about magic in the air and opportunities, change, growth. The fact that you, at this point in time, if you take charge of your life, take charge of your life, you can manifest what you need to be a success. Magician is one of my very favourite cards. It is magic. It's as simple as that. And I often say when the Magician turns up, expect magic in your life. But don't just think it's going to magically occur all on its own. It's not that type of magic. It actually takes your dedicated input and insight and vision for this to occur. I also noticed that in any Magician card there is a number 8 that appears, and he's holding like a number 8 there that is sparkling away in his hand. Now the number 8 is very much about karmic cycles of life and also manifestation. So this may be tied into a cycle that you are evolving through that belongs to the karmic realm. It may have been a long duration cycle and you can feel that change is imminent. It could be to do with your, well, it's anything really. The Magician is open to all aspects of life, but for some of you, if this is a karmic related cycle, it could be to do with health related matters. It could be to do with relationships or finances especially. So when the Magician comes, be ready and be prepared to jump on the bus of opportunity, to travel into new directions and put your best foot forward. Take charge of your life is exactly the governing message of the card. So we will come to the Seven of Summer. This is the Seven of Cups. No more procrastinating. That's really interesting. I'm glad we have stuck to the pattern that came out with the cards, because this was the one after it. In this message it's saying take charge of your life. This one is telling you to doubly do it. No more procrastinating. If you've been planning on something or thinking about something or dreaming of a scheme or an adventure or something you've been wanting to manifest or produce or bring into this reality, they're telling you right now, get to it, get cracking, get these plans into action, format them, strengthen them up and activate them. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from over-analysing the options. So that last message there is actually quite a strong reference point for this card, the Seven of Cups, because quite often this is about choices coming your way. And sometimes when we are given too many choices, we are bamboozled by which choice or decision to make. So if you are in this position of having many choices around this topic or subject matter or area that the magician is opening up for you, then you need to make a firm decision. But I would wisely do my due diligence on the choices available. So do some research, check out which is the best option, make some really logical decisions, because sometimes we can be lured into the wrong choice. And it can be any realm. It could be a health choice that's not the best one. It could be a relationship that's not the best one. It could be a financial investment or a job offer that you take that isn't the best one. But because you've got choices, it appears that one of them or something around for you is the right choice right now. So wonderful opportunity for you guys. I'm so glad I did choose to do this reading for you today. It seemed to just be sitting there in the ethers waiting to be activated. Now the next one that comes in, number 5, the Unity card, is of course the Hierophant card. It says, do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. A spiritually minded community. I'm getting the feeling that the first part of this message, do the right thing for the right reason, is very much tied into these cards as well over here. So this has been a growing message from the first card through to the third. It is really empowering you to take stock of something that you need to make a change or grab a golden opportunity that is around you. And again, these are general readings, so you're going to have to think for yourself which particular opportunity this is referring to. But the message is very blunt and it's very bold. It's almost, to me, if you miss this, if you don't do something about it, and it could be tied into a karmic aspect and clearing up some karmic past life trauma or issue or something that's been holding you back in this life, remember. So it could be a health issue, or it could be an emotional issue you've been suffering with. But because of the planetary alignment that is around right now, and especially to do with Pluto and Saturn, karmic bonds and issues and negativity that might have been holding us back in this current lifeline or lifetime or timeline are dissolving, and we get the opportunity to do something about it. And for some of you, this is the message which will free you up and bring back light or freedom in your life somehow. So it's a really deep message, and you're going to have to ponder on what it means to you individually or specifically. With this Hierophant, he is very much a law-abiding guy. He is also in the spiritually minded realm, and sometimes he is in reference to philosophical energies such as the religions and churches and things like that. Some of you may find that you are attending events or interested in religion or the philosophy of it. You may renew a contract with that part of your life. You may be looking into a new religion. You may find that somehow laws and the strictness, I guess, of society and older fashioned laws and society play a role in something that is tied up in this package that is going on here. It could be that for some of you, you are wanting to break free of traditional packages or ideas or rules or regulations, and this could include the realms or bounds of relationships that you have, or the way you have been living or working, or the thoughts you have held. So because you've received so many major arcana cards and they're talking at a really big, vast level, it's hard to encompass all of the messages that are coming through, because, as I say, for a general reading, this is reaching so many of you that it could be many different aspects that we're talking about. Anyhow, we come to number 15, the ego. This, of course, is the devil card. And with she's called it in this particular deck the ego card. Well, I'm not sure about the name of that, because as a human, to survive on the planet, ego is part of us. So I suppose what she might be saying is when the ego is out of balance, or when there is too much ego and not enough spiritual perspective, or not lack of ego, but a more balanced perspective of ego. I see there he's burning a book that says guilt. So I guess when we're in that more negative space of ego, such as guilt, shame, fear, illusion, addictions, obsessions, this is the type of energy that the traditional devil card is played out in. Now it says here the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items and getting caught up in fear and worry. So this could, I believe all of these major arcanas are very tied into the whole story that is running through the background, the thread of it. And where exactly they sit, I know they've come out in this order and we are moving through them in that order, but I'm not convinced that they necessarily sit specifically that way. However, interestingly enough, the ego is more or less in the middle, the devil card. So it feels to me as if some of you are literally battling with, what is right, what is wrong, which is the way to go, what should I do? And that comes back to the choices, and it comes back to perhaps karmic weight of things that have happened in the past that may have created an out of balance situation. And this could be an emotional disturbance that you might feel around certain people or relationships or situations in your life. The ego card or the devil card can come in when we are out of balance with many different aspects, such as overworking, overeating, overdrinking, gambling, relationships that are codependent or obsessional or abusive in many times. And a lot of people with this year of 2020 have been under immense stress, and this can come through and show up in our emotions and within our relationship statuses. So there could be something going on in the background, that there's this feeling of tightness, or there's a feeling in the background of yourself that perhaps you haven't been free enough, or you haven't been able to express yourself, or you haven't been able to get away from something that's had a hold on you. Perhaps you need to also look at your shadow aspect and integrate it into the whole self, because all of us have these aspects. It's part of what we are, which is exactly what the ego is, which is what I was saying before. And it's nothing to be ashamed of or frightened of. It's just that it needs to be balanced and put into perspective. So unity brings us into balance, and the choices we make help us to be able to manifest, and then the energy of the magician can come in. It's, as I said to you, it's quite convoluted. I think it's very deep. There's got a lot of meaning that are threading through these cards. And each of you, as you work your way through this reading yourself, if you come back to it over time and review it and really look into the energies of the cards and see what message they're specifically telling you, I honestly feel there's some insight for you as you move into the rest of the year and even into next year. And I also said that at the beginning of the reading. There's a lot of power going on here for you guys. It's immense power. So let us move to the next card. There is still something here that wants to be said, and at the moment I can't quite grasp what it is in the background. I touch briefly on relationships that are out of balance. So sometimes there can be a person, and it's not necessarily yourself, but there might be someone around you who has dominated your being, and they have a hold over you some way. So they're either putting pressure on you or pushing parts of you down or aspects of you down. Now, this is someone, to me, it's someone you know and is a fairly close relationship. So I'm thinking of, it's more likely to be within a family line. So it could be a parent, a sibling, a child, a partner, or a grandparent, or someone along those lines, maybe even a close cousin or something. It could be associated at work if you have a very, if you're really connected with the people you work with, and there might be a thread going through there of like a boss who's dominating. It's almost like a more personal thing than that, but there might be something personal going on for some of you at work, and this might even go into your interpersonal relationships. If there's a need for you guys, if any of you are in relationships that are being threatened, remember this says the illusion of being trapped. And remember what this card says: no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. So don't let confusion over who's holding power over you stop you from moving into your birthright of freedom and love and respect. So that's a powerful message that's coming through as well. I'm not getting the feeling that this is a negative reading. It's not that. There's just something in this message that wanted to be said. There's a lot of positive power in your reading, a lot of positive power, and we've only just pulled these first few cards. So the next one is number 12, Awakening the Hanged Man. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness. A temporary pause in the action. So the Awakening card again is a very deeply powerful major arcana. It has the yin and yang sign at the top up here. We have this illumination of the mind down here. These are the points in life at which we are reformatting our integrity values, our decisions, the road we're walking on, the direction we're heading in. And they're personal. They're coming to you from a very place of deep introspection and possibilities and cosmic connection. So with this Awakening card, you can be at a point in your life where you are about to change direction or go down a different crossroad. And again, this can be from a spiritual perspective, so a religious initiation. And we see that with both the Emperor and the Unity card. Both of these are very, very religious-minded cards, and they play a role in how we feel about our own spirituality and who we are, where we're going, what we want, what we're seeking, because he's illuminated in the mind. So there's so many threads going through here. I feel like I'm reading individually for hundreds of you all at once and trying to pack in as much information as I can. This crossroads is also a timing card, and it can mean that there is a timing delay in something that you are waiting for. But remember that when the universe gives us a delay, it's really important to listen to it, to stop, to take the time out to reassess something, to be careful of the choices we make. So the power does come from making a choice, but making the right one. That you could be, as I said earlier, I think that you might be bamboozled by choices or blindsided by which options or directions to take. This one, although it says no more procrastinating, this is not talking about procrastinating, but it's talking about regaining some strength, regaining some ideals, regaining some direction about where it is you want to go, and not rushing headlong into making this wrong choice that could be over here. It also suggests that physically you may have something that needs aligning through the head or the spine. Some of you may have sore backs, shoulders or necks. You may get headaches, eye ache or eye strain, something that needs fixing or freeing up through this part of the head. Some of you may also find that you have illuminating dreams at this time, and I think that dreams are really vivid for a lot of people. I personally have some amazing ones. They're quite out there. So some of you may experience that. You may also experience astral travel, lucid dreaming, connection with others through the spiritual realm. So there's a lot of different stuff that could be going on here. Definitely the messages are change something that you're doing and change something the way you're looking at situations. And when it says embrace your uniqueness, that was also part of it. If you've got a part of you that's lingering or hanging around with some guilt or shame or pain or fear or anger, merge it in and accept the parts of us that need addressing, and give them their space and allow the messages that come through and the learnings that come through from those situations to be merged into your entire uniqueness. So the last card was the Emperor. Again, use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organised. A firm but compassionate leader. He's often associated with the Aries energy, so this can sometimes be referring to March and April. And considering we've now been through that time period this year, this could be referring to that time period next year. And I did say to you, it feels as though this reading might take you further than just June and July. So for some of you, the timing event that was being talked about here in the Hanged Man could go as far out as April and March of next year. Alternatively, an Aries person may be associated with something that is occurring in your awakening or in some of the magician activity, or even for some of you in this ego or devil activity. This Emperor can often be a slightly older male Aries, and he can be a very wise counsel. So someone like a lawyer or accountant or a doctor, mentor, psychologist, legal advisor in particular. So some of you may find that this person is very valuable to you in supplying direction or answers or insight. He can definitely also be someone who writes up legal contracts for one reason or another. Now for some of you, if you look closely, he's holding a little glowing heart in his left hand. Now that heart can sometimes be the symbol of romance. So this person, for some of you, may be a new romantic partner that could show up. But again, it may not show up until next year. Or alternatively, there may be something going on with this person that is activated and comes to a head or a climax during that time frame next year. Oh, the Emperor also is again quite religious. He is not dislike his brother in arms over here, Mr. Unity, the Hierophant. They both have the same very secular, and of course he's in a church in this picture, not in this one, but they both have a very secular, philosophical, rule-based integrity system about them. So for some of you, maybe even rules and regulations or the law may be helping to sort this out. Some of you may be structuring something that balances this ego issue that could be have caused a little bit of stress in your life and needs to be addressed one way or another. And as I say, it could be through some legal system or rigid or strict law-abiding systems that are put in place. Wow, there's so much to say. I still feel I haven't said it all, but we haven't actually finished for the reading. We're going to be looking into these cards next. These are the Energy Oracle cards, and this is for Taurus. So what is it that you would like them to hear, say, do, focus on, or meditate with? Taurus. Appreciation is always a wonderful thing, and appreciation for yourself. There's also, you might be appreciating someone in your life and the value of them, but most definitely someone appreciates you. So there's great appreciation around. Now this is interesting because I noticed in this card, the Emperor, he was holding the world on this plinth or statue, and then you have the world again here. So what is the reference going on here for these two world cards that have come out? again, I'm not fully grasping the entire depth of the meaning of these two cards and what it is they're trying to say. This card usually means the world is your oyster and there are so many opportunities opening up to you. And that brings us back to the very first card that came out anyhow, which was the Magician. So we're going back in circles about this expansive opportunity that is almost so vast that you need to really dig deep to find the hidden possibilities that are out there for you, Taurus. And that was again what was said from the Magician's perspective. Yes, this is a magic time. You've got to do some sort of hunting. You have to look deep. Now, why is it that the Emperor is holding that World card? There is a message in here for you about what the words on the bottom are perhaps very, very relevant. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. So those words have got something in them that is a clue for you about how this Magician is going to take great effect and change the direction of your life and where you're headed for this new outcome. That was really rather interesting. This is for Taurus. Daughter value, beautiful card as well. So this is probably the first one we've seen that is referencing some sort of financial benevolence or positivity. It can be a windfall coming in, it just can be more finances, the freeing up of finances, a loan, maybe an increase at work or a job if you haven't got a job. Boom, the Angel of Balance. So when we start receiving messages that are rekindling what we've already said through the previous cards, I know then that we're repeating again what we'd said. So either the message needs to be repeated so that you hear it and understand it, or we have come to the end of this part of the reading. But know that you have an angel with you who is able to help bring balance into situations that you might be concerned about or afraid of. So call upon this angel, meditate with them, bring the balance that you require into your life. And it may be that it comes through this ecliptical time, and the pyramids in the background are very mystical and magical, and they hold answers of the universe that we know very little about. So as I say, this is a very deep, inspiring time for you guys that I feel the reading is not even really about the month of July. This is something way greater. It's out in the cosmic realm, giving you insight to a future that you could possibly may have only dreamed of. Okay, this is the last card for Taurus. I just want to move these ones out of the way a little bit. I'm not sure why, but we'll do that. What is in store for Taurus? This is the Animal Oracle deck. I really love working with animals. I'm very passionate myself about our earth and the other living creatures on it. So the Animal Oracle I find really speaks well. I also love the artwork on the cards. They're very generous of colour and energy and activation. Peacock spirit, let it shine. And what a character the peacock is. He's so proud, and he is also so glorious and beautiful. If you look closely on the card, you can see this amazing light beaming from his throat or thorax area, and I'm not sure, but I sort of assume that might be where his heart is. And so there's this amazing opening of the heart energy, which is in all ways love and the connection to light and awareness. And this one here, let it shine. And look at him wearing his crown on top of his head. He's like the emperor. He's like the king. He's been crowned for something. I will read the words for you because I think they're all really special. And if you look, 46 equals 10, which equals 1. And the first card out was number 1, which is the Magician, which is the magic. So I'll read the Peacock Spirit, let it shine. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are, for you are a manifestation of spirit. Come out of the shadows, Peacock Spirit says, and show your true colours so that others may be inspired to express their own uniqueness. And he's half in the shadows and he's half out. There's beautiful play on words there. Come out of the shadows so you may express your uniqueness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force, energy and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. And it's so nice that there is just this beaming, shining light literally coming right down on this card right now, and also on the Magician as well. Yeah, I love it when the natural energies of the universe play a role within the reading, and it's all just as it's meant to be, exactly as your reading is meant to be. Now the Peacock Spirit, or all these animal oracle cards, have a protection message, so I am also going to read the protection message for you because some of you might find that more relevant. Are you afraid of dancing with abandon because of what others might think? Do you think you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect to be hurt if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine, but that's okay. Peacock Spirit is here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, and although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyway. Model the good fortune and abundant joy that is yours, and soon someone will say, "Me too," and join you. Spirit loves you so much and wants you to enjoy the dance and shine your light. And that last little bit where it said soon someone will join you and say "me too," it's kind of like the whole Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement that have formed over the last 12 months with the pedophilia, the abuse against women, and now the abuse against the Black Lives Matter groups that have formed. So there you are, guys. It is a beautiful reading, and I hope you've really enjoyed this. It's a lovely way to finish a very powerful reading. So I wish you all magical shining light, and let it shine for you through the month of June and July, and take you on a new journey of opening and awareness as you dance your life into 2021. Thank you for joining me. Check your moon and rising signs as well. Please like the video and sub the channel. I love it when you leave your comments as well. So does the rest of the community. So much love, everyone. Be safe and well. Be kind to each other. Namaste.